Hey guys, we're going to open a 5SC today and take a look at it. Stick around and we'll see what's in the box. Okay. Okay, so we got the box open. Okay, let's start with the tires and the wheels. So we have the front tire here. And the rear tire. Both the same diameter. Their diameter is 7 1/2 inches. The wheel diameter is about 5 1/4, just a tick over. Front tire width 2 1/2. Rear tire width is right at 3 inches. And we have our gas can as usual. One of the things I like to do on these gas cans is to mark where the 25-to-1 mark is. It's very hard to see it sometimes. Okay, so our 25-to-1 mark is right there. And our 1 mark is right there. When you're outside in the sun, this really does help. And I just use like a piece of electrical tape. If it falls off, that's fine. It's good if you get it on both sides. I don't know where my razor knife is, so just ripping and carrying on this. I guess I could have used my scissors. So anyways, when you're outside in the sun, it'll make it a lot easier to put fuel in this can. Okay, so we have some decals. And our radio, transmitter. And 2 more tires. Another big sheet of decals. A bumper. Now for the buggy itself. Or a truck, I should say. Slide this thing out of here. And we got our tools and our manual there. Almost forgot about those. Get into the car. Okay. So let's see if we can get this thing lid out of there. That's one way to do it. Okay. We'll have to zoom out to fit that thing in there. Alrighty. So it looks like we got the 6 or 8 clips, the same as what would be on like a 5T. Just pull this off here. There is our 5SC body. Underneath. I'm going to back the camera up a little bit for this one. The body measures 18¼ wide the front and about 18 and 19 on the back on the outside of the fender wells there. And we have an overall length of approximately 36½ inches. There it is from the side. There it is from the back. So we're going to set this aside. Let's bring our buggy over. Get you off the tripod here and take a closer look. Let's get my trusty Dr. Pepper can here. Let's take a look from the back. Get your mud flaps there. One thing I do like about this is you'll notice it has an extra cover over the pull start. Okay, now look from the bottom side here. So one of the things I like to do on these lug nuts is on the threaded axle part is wrap that with Teflon. Don't use Loctite, just wrap it with some Teflon, tighten it up real good, never have one come loose. Let's see if we can get the back tires on this thing. Partially on. Since this thing's going to go back in the box to ship to a customer. Back on. Turn this thing over. Okay, so this is your bumper, and in the bag here we should have a couple pins and bolts. Let's see if we can find those real quick. So the bolts look like this. So basically, first thing you're going to do is wiggle this in here where it goes, and then this piece will slide in. I'm not going to put it all the way together right now. Then if you pull this part up, there's two holes right in this area. And then you have two nuts. Screw into these two bolts. And then these two shorter screws for bolts. Go into the end of this shaft and you put it all the way along. Shaft in. Here's, sometimes you gotta wheel them around a little bit to get them through there. That one went in fairly easily. And then you bring it up, put your other two screws in. Pull that back off of there. Okay, so let's get the front tires on him. again, put Teflon on your threads and your axle. Usually it's easier to put it on there before you stick the wheel on it. Okay, so let's pop our body back on. If I can find the pinhole here. These clips in, they really should go in from the front. That way, if they're sticking out this way, the weeds or whatever won't catch them, and you don't want to get in them and pull them out on you sometimes. Okay, so there it is, the 5SC all put together. This does have some factory charge on it. So we'll go ahead and throw some batteries. Transmitter here. Okay, so transmitter's on. Got blue light here. We can easily reach in this front fender. See that on the camera. You can easily reach in the front fender here and turn this on and off. Also, you can reach in the other side on the front fender and turn your choke on and off. Oops. By just simply reaching in through here, and I can get to the choke real easy. So you do not have to take the body off of this buggy to operate it. And your pull start, generally you can get a hold of him here and pull him out to this area. Give it a crank, shut the choke off. Typically 2 more cranks it's running, as you'll see in my other videos on pretty much every other car. Okay, let's see if we can get the back on the radio here. Okay, so on the radio again, turn this thing around here. Almost every one of these Rovan vehicles you get will come with the idle set way up high. So, you know, be aware of that first time you start it. You may have to turn the idle down. Do not mess with the high speed and low speed jets until after you've run the break-in cycles. You do not want to lean it out. It'll tend to run a little rich when you're breaking them in. Don't worry about it. After a couple tanks, then you can start worrying about fine-tuning your high-speed and low-speed jets on your carburetor. Okay, so the upper left-hand knob on this is your steering trim. You'll see when I turn it, you'll see the wheels slightly favor one direction or the other. So that's how you trim it to get it to run straight. Now, I'm going to turn this one down So I'm going to turn the wheels all the way. Now the lower left is going to be your extents. So the farther this is turned up on this knob right here, I'm turning it clockwise, the farther that it will turn, or sharper that it would turn, I would say. Okay, same thing on this one, on the upper right, that is your throttle trim. And this is your throttle extents. Usually you want to trim this down to where it just is barely touching the brake when you let off the throttle. And then this, if you don't want it to run quite as far wide open, turn that down a little bit, especially during the break-in. Doesn't hurt anything. Set it down to about 70-80%. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the radio off. Reach in there and shut him off. Just that easy. Oh, by the way, you can reach in from the back side here and easily access the kill switch on the motor. But yeah, you can reach right in the back here and easily push the kill switch on the motor, which is the red you see right there. Hey guys, here's a lineup of our Rovans. So in the end here we have a D5 4-wheel drive, 32 cc's. Then we have the Rovan 5B, 29 cc's. Then we have the 5T, 32 cc's. And last but not least, the 5SC, which is a 32 cc. And a lot of people ask me what the difference is between the 5T and the 5SC. So let's get them up side by side here. One of the things you'll immediately notice is the 5T has an all-terrain tread, and the 5SC has more of a more aggressive tread, more for dirt or off-road. So let's bring the 5T over here beside the bigger Buggy. Well, not really that much bigger. The bigger bodied Buggy. Okay. So as you can see, get out my own shadow here. The 5SC is a little bit wider than the 5T. The length is going to be about the same. Of course, there's a bumper that goes on the 5SC. That will make it a little bit longer if you're measuring the bumper.